16. That is the number I want you to think about right now. 16 years ago was the birth of Miracle Corners of the World. 16 stands for 16 unbelievable years, and it was 16 years ago that two young and accomplished men, Eddie Bergman and Rob Alsbrooks, met and came up with the idea which would eventually become Miracle Corners of the World. I've been coming to this gala for years. I've lost count, and it is truly something that amazes me every year and makes me feel as if there is a way, simply by finding tiny corners of the world, that you can make a massive difference. And for those of you who know me, you know that I kind of have a partner in all of this who's always up here with me, Ali Velshi, formerly of CNN and now of Al Jazeera America. Ali and I both feel the same way. We have to be here no matter what every year, even if one of us can't be here and it's by video. And that would be Ali this year. He couldn't make it, but he's here anyway. Let's roll Ali Velshi's greeting to you.
A warm welcome to you all tonight. I'm taking the liberty of welcoming you, even though I'll be on assignment out of the country by the time you see this, because the last time I missed an MCW gala was so long ago that I had a full head of hair. It saddens me that I can't be with you and Eddie and all of the great MCW staff and you, their supporters, tonight. MCW is an organization I have grown very close to. Eddie may put up some photos through the course of the evening showing me touring an MCW center in Rwanda a few years ago. By the way, speaking of hair, fabulous hair in fact, I'm told that my old friend and constant co-host of this event, Liz Claman, is planning to be with you tonight. So if she is, you're in good hands. If she's not there and I'm not there, I don't know what the plan is, so I hope you stocked up on food and drink while you had the chance, and that now you just listen quietly to a few possibly long but potentially meaningful speeches. Have a great night.
Yay, Ali. Every organization, every charity, every winning business has a heart and a soul. Please welcome MCW co-founder and angel-in-chief, heart and soul, Eddie Bergman.
All right, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Liz, and thank you so much for being with us and emceeing this evening's program. Thank you to everyone for coming, and thank you for being on time. As you can see, we've switched up the order this year. Sometimes change is difficult, but we managed to do it, and we're having the formal presentations first, and then we'll be going upstairs for the reception. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. Thanks for taking time to be with us this evening, particularly on a nice summer evening. Tonight we celebrate our 11th annual gala, as we've just heard, 16 years of MCW. And if you've joined us last year, we celebrated how far the organization has come. And this year, in addition to continuing our core programs in global youth development, community development, and oral health, we also have invested significant time and energy in developing a strategic plan for the next chapter of the organization's history. From the very beginning, we understood that we could not have achieved the work that the organization has set out to do without working in partnership. And as we can see when looking around the room, and we'll be sharing some videos, as well as reading the special edition of The Corner, which will be in the gift bags at the end of this evening, which is the annual report for the organization, as well as hearing from the individuals. Collaboration and partnership are core to the soul of MCW. Before moving on, just want to mention that at everyone's seat this evening, there's a program, as well as a description of the silent auction items. I think that may have already been mentioned. And also, on the way out this evening from the 10th floor, we'll be handing out tote bags, which were made in Tanzania at one of our youth programs. And inside there contains our annual report, as well as a save the date card for an event that we'll be doing here called Open Doors, which is our annual conclusion to the Summer Youth Leadership Program. There's also inside the bags, we'll have chocolate, a globe chocolate for 16 years, I think now. Lorena Bloom and family have spent their spare time preparing chocolates every evening from midnight to 4 in the morning, and I think that goes on for about a week, and we couldn't have passed that tradition. So thank you so much, Lorena and the Bloom family, for doing that again. Please make sure that everyone joins us upstairs after this program. Each and every piece that we'll have in the silent auction is one of a kind. There's beautiful hand-woven baskets that are made at our community centers in Africa, as well as, just to mention, all the profits, of course, go right to the centers. And our arts and crafts program is developed in partnership with an organization called Inspired Trade. So now that the business is out of the way, allow me to introduce some of the distinguished guests this evening. And in the interest of time, everyone, you can just hold your applause until the end. But we, of course, are very grateful for our longtime friend and supporter, Liz Claman, anchor at Fox Business, for being with us to MC the gala. Thank you so much, Liz. And Liz is still here. She hasn't left. So thank you. Welcome also to members of the international diplomatic community. We've had many friends from the international diplomatic community that have sent their greetings this evening. Given that we changed the date this year, it was a little challenging for everyone to be with us, but we do have two very important members from the diplomatic community here with us. We welcome the ambassador and permanent representative of the Republic of the Mission of Zambia to the United Nations. We welcome also the ambassador of Sierra Leone to the United States of America, who's with us this evening. And we also welcome tonight's honorees, who we'll be hearing from shortly, the Bank of America, the Mama Sarah Obama Foundation, as well as the UN Undersecretary General and Executive Director of UN Women. We're very honored to have her with us, Honorable Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka. Thank you so much for being with us, and we'll be hearing shortly from our honorees. Of course, we have some of our past honorees with us this evening, just to mention and to recognize, since each year, if we recognize someone, it's a tradition that if you're here the following year, we'll recognize you again. Eduardo Martinez, the president of the UPS Foundation; Peter Klein, the president of the Claire Freelander Family Foundation; Dr. Tony Volpe, formerly with Colgate Palmolive; and Dr. Pamela Newman of Aon Risk Solutions; and Warren Adams, the co-founder of Walkfly Productions and producer of Motown the Musical. So all the honorees this year, if you're with us next year, I'll be mentioning your name. So we also welcome some of our 2015 honorary chairs who are with us this evening, and there's a whole list of our honorary chairs in the program, about 30 names of distinguished individuals who have lent their name and support to this evening and to the work MCW does throughout the year. But those who are with us this evening, Anthony D'Alessio from the Long Island office, a managing partner of KPMG; Amir Desal, the founder and chairman of Global Partnerships; Dr. Yao Nyarko, joining us from the university, who's with director of Africa House here; Bill Thompson, as well as I mentioned, there's about 30 names of individuals who couldn't be here this evening but have lent their support in our outreach. I would also like to recognize and ask him to stand for a moment, the other co-founder of MCW, a gentleman who I started this organization with about 16 years ago, and I think both Rob and I take pride to see that this work continues today, and so many individuals are behind making that happen and put their heart and energy into this. So Rob, if you're, please stand, and Rob's son's also here, Raze, so welcome, Rob. And of course, a very big thank you to our friends at Team Shine, who, of course, there are many in the room, and thank you so much to Team Shine, to Henry Schein Cares, as well as to all the friends of Team Shine for your incredible support from year to year in this outreach, as well as the work throughout the year. So you can give yourself a round of applause for that one. From Team Shine, I have a short announcement to make. Keith Dreyer. Keith Dreyer's mom, Judy, is with us this evening and celebrating her 60th anniversary graduating NYU, and has asked me to mention she was a member of the class of 1955, and when she was here, we're told that she paid $15.50 per credit at NYU then. So I hope your education has had a very strong return on your investment today, and appreciated. There she is. Welcome. All right. So also to our Board of Directors Emeritus, we're joined by Dr. Anthony Vernillo and Roberta Richin, as well as a special recognition. I would like to ask our current Board of Directors to stand. Our current Board of Directors doesn't miss a board meeting, whether the meetings take place in New York or Rwanda. They're passionate about the programs. They're committed to the strategic planning process we're going through. They're passionate about this organization. And I'd like to just ask our current board to stand: Paul Bergman, Anna Kondulis, Mark Kemper, Gavin Poole, Humera Kazi and Dr. Charlie Robbins, of which two, unfortunately, they're watching this remotely, or they will be. But the board president, you can just stand and just be recognized. And thank you very much for your support. So this year was an exciting year for MCW. The organization held its 17th annual Youth Leadership Retreat with participants from around the world. We awarded 2 alumni venture funds to Abdu Mohammed and Dylan Howard to provide seed money for their social entrepreneurial ventures. And under the community development initiatives, MCW supported over 1,000 students who took courses at our community centers in Africa. Close to 25% of those students were enrolled in vocational training programs. We had the first college graduations for the George Sideris Memorial Scholarship Fund recipients. And within the oral health program, MCW completed an infrastructure upgrade at Tanzania's Muhimbili University of Health and Allied Science. We had 2 dental outreaches in Tanzania where over 2,500 patients were seen. And under the leadership of Dr. Mariam Berkman, my mother, this year MCW facilitated the creation of the Global Nurse Scholars Program in collaboration with the government of Tanzania, as well as NYU School of Nursing, to develop the curriculum to train nurses in the field of basic oral health care in Tanzania. So here are some highlights from 2015.
Stand, believe that you can make it. I can stand, believe that you can make it to stop.
Jiamini kama fedha, kesi utaweza, kufika malengo unaweza. Japo wanakudharau, usikate tamaa na kujisahau. Katu usijishushe down, imara simama utayasahau. Matatizo changamoto kwa dunia, vumilia, acha kulia. Mitihani ya msoto unapitia, vumilia, ukanania. Iko siku utakuwa superstar, kila siku utaonekana shujaa. Zile siku ulishinda sana njaa, na leo haonazo umekuwa bonge la star.
Najiamini inshallah, na kula na shiba yote ni kusaka jala. Hold up, kwa bidii tutafika tu. Don't hold down, juu kama bujuru. Do times maraduf, na jaa ana bless ukifight. Usiwelele mama, haya maisha nyakati. Wakati ndio huu wa kufight. My brother and sister, I know you gonna make it. That you can make it, chapa. That you can make it, kangadu kwa bidii. Soma sana wacha kuzubaa. Jamini amini unaweza kumiliki vogo kama ndinga alteza. Jamini amini unaweza kumiliki ndiga kama vogo alteza.
So the music that we heard that accompanied that presentation was created by one of our social entrepreneurship alumni venture fund recipients in Tanzania, and he produced that song and has a whole production team that we supported, and hopefully we'll hear that song on the radio when we're sitting in traffic coming in to the city next year. So 2015 was a special year for MCW because we all undertook an ambitious planning process. And in March, MCW brought together the global board as well as stakeholders to talk about what inspires them about MCW as well as to plan for the future.
What inspires me about MCW is from the beginning when I was young, I had a dream to work with the community, to be a leader in my country as someone who can make positive change.
You know, the honesty of purpose, the passion, and the depth of caring, and the longing to always do what's right for the people that MCW strives to touch around the world.
MCW is a nice organization working with the youth to create their job so they can be able to change their life in the life of their neighbors and their community.
I will graduate my master's degree in the Open University of Tanzania. I got a grant from MCW through George Sideri's funds. So it inspires too much. It changes my life and even the life of the community.
With the programs that I've been doing with MCW, the trainings, capacity building trainings that I've been having, it's helped me greatly. It's improved my leadership skills, and it's even increased my love for my community.
MCW has done a lot in Chanyanya. It has brought change. A lot of people, the way they had no skills, but at the moment, people have got skills.
When we were giving them the oral health educations, it's something which is new in their heads, and it's make them to practice, not only to practice, even to teach others.
In Dar es Salaam at Muhimbili, the program which MCW supported, it has big impact. It's amazing. I mean, it's like the best in East Africa and Central Africa that is offering this dental program, and also the School of Dentistry, which is something very big.
Yeah, for me, is people in New York and they want to help your fellow countrymen, and I think because they don't have to come, so I feel I have a moral responsibility to support the cause, and I really appreciate the initiative.
I think to some extent, in terms of empowerment, there's a big portion of education that has to do with the way we think, the motivation, changing of mindsets. I think there's that component, and MCW gives what can be taken away from somebody. I believe development is about people. So I think the first point of inspiration, they are doing activities that are targeting to improve the lives of people.
So carrying on the MCW tradition, I'd like to introduce and ask our 2015 dinner chairs who make this work possible through their ongoing outreach during the year to stand as we'd like to present a handcrafted wood carving from our community center in Zambia. And we would like you to stand, and everyone can please recognize after I go through the list. But thank you so much to the dinner chairs and your incredible outreach. So thank you to Kim Allen, Avinash and Peggy Ahuja, Jerry and Linda Benjamin, Dr. Ruben Cohen and Ronica Cohen, Anna Kondulis, Len and Rahel David, Keith and Tracy Dreyer, Michael and Joyce Edinger, Dominique Gallo, Rick Glass, James and Wendy Harding, Don and Tracy Hobbs, Steve and Sharon Kess, Maureen and Philip Knott, Mark and Audrey Malotek, Grace Monahan, Steve and Dolores Palladino, Ken Parrish, Eric and Linda Perlmutter, Anthony Providenti, Dr. Charles and Ronnie Robbins, Paul and Sandra Rose, and Howie Stapler and Susan Bacci, and Mike Stone and Tim and Kay Sullivan. So please stand if you're with us, and thank you so much for your incredible outreach, as I mentioned, during the year. We'd also like to recognize, and please also join us in standing, those who supported our dinner chairs in the outreach: Teresa Donnelly, Sandra Johnson, Jackie Costellas, Debbie Mandaro, Michelle Targovanik, and Debbie Zabantino. So thank you so much for all the work that you did in this process. As well as from the Henry Schein Travel Department, Lori Biltz and Sandy Jabanitsky for the incredible support and with logistics of everything. So in total this evening, and we'll announce it later, but we have raised in excess, which we believe with your support for the silent auction. So we're confident if everyone supports the silent auction upstairs, we can raise in excess of a six-figure number that starts with the number 9. So maybe you'll get us a little bit higher than that. So we'll announce that upstairs, but we need your support with the silent auction. So thank you so much. In addition to our fabulous dinner chairs, we recognize and thank Dewi Wijaya, who is downstairs at registration, the entire Henry Schein creative team for these incredible videos, working with the MCW team, especially from Schein Creative, Joe Savino, David Levitsky, and Avi Freiman, who did some miracles with these movies together with our crew at MCW. Thank you also particularly to someone who has led this MCW effort now for this is the 11th gala, so 11 years at Team Schein. Thank you to Howie Stapler for your incredible outreach and pushing to make this happen. So we also want to thank from the NYU community, as well as MCW board, Anna Kondulis, once again for making all this possible. As I would also like to ask a particular individual to stand, although I'm sure he's not going to like me for doing this, but I want to ask Khalid Alachi to stand, the Director of Operations for MCW. So, who oversees MCW daily operations, keeps the organization on track while at the same time creating an environment for where we can grow. So thank you to Khalid. And to the MCW team, Angela Geru, Regina Lechner, Andrea Pepito, thanks our oral health care advocate and someone who travels to Tanzania tirelessly to lead the oral health efforts, Dr. Marion Bergman, as well as our current development fellows, Maya Calderonia and Brittany Farrell, as well as we want to thank an extraordinary team of volunteers who have been working tirelessly for this event. This is a big production, to make this happen, so to get everyone in this room. So we want to thank Kelly Klein, Ed Roach, Isabella Wood, Trevor Cheek Awa, Chirag Vaswani, as well as Vinny Vaswani, along with Vinny, along with Andrea, are the visions behind the corner, and that's the newsletter, which, as well as our annual report, which will be distributed later. Thanks to R.R. Donnelly for printing it. And thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you. Your names are in the program. We recognize you. Without your support, this wouldn't be possible. And finally, thanking two individuals, one who I've mentioned several times, the other one who I will mention, Stanley and Marion Bergman, for their tireless support for MCW and from year to year, as well as I've thanked everyone in the world. So first I have to thank my mother-in-law, and then I have to thank who's here, of course, every year, otherwise I'll get in trouble when we're at the shore. And I thank my wife Sharon, as well as baby Nora. So thank you, everyone, and enjoy the evening.
Okay. I can't believe I have to teach you how to do Jewish guilt.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What is that?
Okay, here's how you do it. You say, if you spend money at the silent auction, we will reach a six-figure number that starts with 9. But if you don't, we're going to be humiliated and mortified. So really, we really need this. And all those amazing people on the screen, they'll be looking back at us and saying, why didn't you buy the tchotchke? Okay? All right.
The tchotchke are that business class trip for 2 to Europe on Delta. So
That's some tchotchke.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I learned Jewish guilt.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I know I look Irish, but I'm a different kind of ish. What would we be without our you like that, yeah? What would we be without our true friends? Friends who are there, rain or shine, and who truly put their money where their mouth is. It's time to honor one of those friends, Bank of America. And to present the Community Partnership Award to BAC, we welcome a friend of mine, Henry Schein, EVP and Chief Financial Officer, Steve Palladino.
Okay. So it really gives me great pleasure to present the 2015 MCW Community Partnership Award to one of the world's largest financial institutions and a valued financial partner of Henry Schein, the Bank of America. Bank of America was established more than 2 centuries ago. It currently serves more than 50 million customers and business relationships around the world. While the bank is a renowned leader in the financial world, its commitment to giving back to communities around the world is equally impressive. There's a number of things I can cite, whether it's the $70 billion investment to address climate change, or its contribution of $200 million through its charitable foundation to support hunger relief and workforce training, or a contribution of more than 2 million volunteer hours by its employees. Bank of America demonstrates its dedication to enhancing lives and enriching our planet every day. For this reason, Bank of America is an ideal recipient of the MCW Community Partnership Award. So accepting this award on behalf of Bank of America is Louise Ducci, who's the Senior Client Manager and Global Commercial Banking Officer for Bank of America and Henry Schein's Relationship Manager, as well as Joe DiNicola. Joe is Bank of America's Practice Solutions National Sales Executive, who works closely with Henry Schein Financial Services to help Henry Schein provide leasing and other financial solutions to its customers. Both Louise and Joe really embody the commitment that is shared by more than 220,000 Bank of America employees who help enrich the lives of their customers and communities around the world. So congratulations, Louise, Joe, please come up, and congratulations to Bank of America.
So thank you, Steve, for those great comments. You did your research really well about our corporate social responsibility. We take a lot of pride at that in Bank of America. At Bank of America, being a responsible business is integral to our success, and that of our clients, our shareholders, and the communities that we serve around the world. Corporate social responsibility is embedded in our values and reflects how we conduct our business and deliver on our goals and commitments. Not only does social responsibility guide the values and principles of our company, but it enables us to make a meaningful impact in the communities we serve around the world. In that regard, we have a lot in common with Miracle Corners of the World. As you focus on global youth development and community development, so do we. Bank of America is focused on leadership and service with programs that develop emerging women leaders around the world and student leaders in our own backyard. We also support high-performing nonprofits across the United States, like MCW, who themselves play a vital role in helping local economies and addressing social challenges. Bank of America believes in strong economies by supporting economic health of communities, from financing affordable housing and small businesses in low-income neighborhoods to providing grants in the areas of housing, hunger, and jobs. As a major player in the world's financial system, our commitment to address social and economic challenges is inextricably linked to our commitment to the responsible and transparent business practices our clients expect. We at Bank of America firmly believe that when we help people live better financial lives and build stronger communities and stable economies, everyone benefits. On behalf of Bank of America, thank you for this recognition and congratulations to all of tonight's honorees. Thank you.
Love Bank of America. Thank you so much. Thank you. So most of us have our day jobs, right? And then there are those who go above and beyond. They don't have to, but they do. They give back with their time and with their heart. Please welcome somebody who does that. He is Humera Kazi, Director of Business Intelligence at KPMG LLP. That's his day job. And then the above and beyond part, he is a board member of Miracle Corners of the World. Humera, please come up. Sorry.
Thank you. So, welcome everybody tonight. I'm here to present the MCW Leadership Award. And just a few things about the award before I begin. The MCW Leadership Award is presented to those who embody our mission and values and inspire us in education and empowerment work worldwide, particularly in the US and Africa. It is presented to those who take the lead in making a positive change in their communities and in turn the world. For their remarkable work to create a brighter future and improve the lives of children in Kenya, we can think of no greater honor for MCW than to share this award with the Mama Sarah Obama Foundation. This is a foundation that provides education and social welfare programs to children in need in Kogila Village and beyond in Kenya. The founder of this organization, Mama Sarah Obama, was married before she turned 21 and raised her stepchildren alongside her own in Kogila, Kenya. As was customary during her life, or during her time, Mama Sarah never set foot in school because educating girls was not considered a priority. It was considered worthless, but she never understood the logic for this practice because she knew from a very early age that education was the gateway to a better life. She resolved to do everything in her power to ensure that her children were not denied an education. In the mid-90s, Mama Sarah began helping widows in her village build homes and started providing food, clothing, and eventually tuition to many school-age orphans in her community. This was the origin of the orphan program that she runs today. The scale and impact of her work increased with the ascension of her step-grandson to the presidency of the United States of America. And today, Mama Sarah aspires to leave a legacy that actualizes her dream of creating a beacon of hope for the children of her village. She has developed a legacy plan that builds upon her actions, accomplishments, and resources to make a lasting impression on the causes that she believes in. Let's watch a brief video.
In Kogelo, Kenya, 1 in 20 children are unable to complete school due to poverty. The AIDS epidemic has destroyed many families, leaving the grandparents to care for the young. Mama Sarah Obama serves as a beacon of hope for the region. Using her own resources, Mama Sarah has cared for these orphans and widows. She began to help them by offering food, clothes, teaching them how to farm, and for some, rebuilding their crumbling huts. But deep in her heart, Mama Sarah yearned to leave a legacy for the children. With the ascension of her grandson to the presidency, her existence became known all around the world. Many came to Kogelo to visit her. Most brought well wishes. Some brought gifts that she then redistributed to the village. With the passage of time, Mama Sarah realized that she needed to develop a vision for her legacy that would build upon her actions and resources to make a lasting impression on the village. Today, this vision is being implemented through her work at the Mama Sarah Obama Foundation.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to invite Tana Reese up to the stage to accept the award on behalf of the foundation. Tana is a volunteer in technology education for the Mama Sarah Obama Foundation.
I'm deeply honored to be here tonight to receive this award on behalf of Mama Sarah Obama. As you can see, her work is brilliant. What she did is amazing. She has 94 years old, and she's still doing. And she wants to expand from a village to the globe. And what an energy she got. She speaks from the heart. And what she's doing is impacting not just one life, because by education, we can create opportunity to change not just one person, but the children that we educate, we're gonna help and be able to help others so we can expand and create a brighter future for all the children. She inspired me, she inspired many others, and she will be building a beautiful legacy. Thank you, MCW, and thank you for all to be here. She deserves this award.
That is amazing to see what Mama Sarah has done, and it makes you realize that a single person can absolutely make a difference, but together, bringing it all together with Miracle Corners of the World, that can make a world of difference. What is Miracle Corners of the World without its youth leadership? I mean, that really is very much the core of this whole organization. And how is the youth leadership program, how is it progressing? How is it growing? What kind of difference is it making? We welcome Dr. Charles Robbins, who is Vice Provost for Undergraduate Education and Dean of the Undergraduate Colleges at Stony Brook University and a member of the MCW board. Welcome, Doctor. Thank you.
Global youth development has always been a pillar of this organization since its beginning. And I've been very fortunate as a member of the board to work on the Global Development Committee, the Global Youth Development Committee. And between the work of the committee and the staff and countless volunteers, we've really focused on strengthening our work with young people and improving the lives of young people really across the globe. Our signature event continues to be the Youth Leadership Retreat, and Eddie talked a little bit about last year's retreat. But I'm really proud to say that this year we'll be holding our 18th annual Youth Leadership Retreat, and for the first time, it's going to be housed at Stony Brook University on Long Island. We had a record number of applications to participate this year, and I'm proud to say that we've accepted 60 participants representing 20 countries around the world. So I think it's going to be an amazing week, an amazing program. We've redesigned the curriculum. We've established learning outcomes for all of our young people. And we'll really be able to, for the first time, measure what the impact of our intervention has been, what we're really creating by doing this work. And this year, again, for the first time, the mentors who are assigned to work with the young people, there'll be an expectation that they're going to stay engaged with them for a full year, so that we'll really be able to help them sustain the gains that they've made and the changes in their lives that we're beginning to see. So it really is my pleasure to introduce to you 3 of our alumni from Youth Leadership Retreat, 3 people who recently have graduated from university and are really successful in doing amazing things. So I'd ask them to please join me on the stage as I introduce them. So please join me in welcoming Saeed Abudulev, Mahmoud Jabari, and Mallory Rothstein.
Thank you so much for this kind introduction. My name is Saeed, and originally I come from Kyrgyzstan, a former country of the Soviet Union. When I came to MCW for the first time, I had one vision. I always wanted to go to college. But growing up in a country and belonging to the minority ethnic group, that vision didn't seem like a reality. But when I came to the MCW, I was able to acquire necessary skills, tools, and meet amazing people. And I'd like to say that last month, I graduated as the first member of my entire family from college, specifically University of Pennsylvania. Thank you. And being part of MCW and Youth Leadership Retreat, I learned that in order for me to be the change that I want to see in this world, I do not have to be loud, but I have to be committed. Because commitment is what takes your vision and turns it into reality. And I want to say thank you so much for supporting MCW and helping us to turn our visions into tangible reality. Thank you.
You know, I don't know why Saeed went first, because I'm like, how do I go after Saeed? Because he's so amazing, but he ran up there and beat me to the podium. But my name is Mallory, and I first got involved with MCW during the summer of my freshman year, and I told Klee that he basically can never get rid of me from that year. I've been honored to be a mentee, a mentor, a speaker, and this year I've been able to do some of the interviews for the applicants for the retreat this year. Through my involvement with MCW, I really developed a love for learning about new cultures, which really motivated me to study abroad in Italy during my senior year, which I actually got to meet up with people from the other youth leadership retreats, and some of them I had known, and some of them people just connected me to, and it was amazing to meet other people from retreats that I hadn't even known. I've also been able to just develop a strong global network that has really been there for me throughout my entire college process. It's funny because sometimes I stay in touch with a lot more of the people from around the world than even my friends from high school, which some people find very weird, but I've really created a very strong network. And I've also been motivated to find a job that not only allows me to, of course, pay some bills, but also to make a very positive change in the world as well. So thank you to the team of MCW again, and also everyone here that supports MCW. The organization has really changed my life, and I promise to continue to give back as much as it has given to me. So thank you.
In 2009, when I came to MCW just out of high school, I was looking for a way to empower my peers in Palestine with multimedia and journalistic skills so they can become their own voices. MCW has shown me the way to do that. During the year after I was a mentee, I worked with 40 deaf Palestinian students, teaching them how to use social media and multimedia to get them engaged in the social and political conversation and discussion in Palestine. But too often, when we are committed and engaged local and global citizens, we forget to think about ourselves. So in 2010, when I was back as a mentor, MCW made me realize that I should include myself in my vision. And that's when I started to think that my dream to study in the US can become possible, given that we have our retreat at Champlain College. MCW allowed me and helped me to get a scholarship to study communication at Champlain College. I graduated in May. Without MCW, that wouldn't have been possible. I graduated with an honor. And I was my class speaker at the commencement ceremony. On my way here, I got a call from the same company that I first met, MCW introduced me to, and came to present at our retreat, Ben & Jerry's. And next week, I'm gonna start a job at Ben & Jerry's as a digital marketing assistant. Thank you. Thank you, MCW. This is an investment that you won't regret and you'll be proud of. Thank you.
Congratulations. They are so poised. I hate them. I was never like that at their age. They are going to be the future leaders, and perhaps some of that fairy dust from Miracle Corners of the World sprinkled on them will make a massive difference. I think it's time we need a little night music, right? It's a summer evening. To bring that on, we have such a treat for you. We have secured a musical performance by Hope, the Nelson Mandela Musical. Let us listen.
Good evening from South Africa. My name is Luvuyo Mandela. Sad that I couldn't be here this evening with you to celebrate MCW's 16 years of impact, but with the joys of technology and a selfie stick, I thought I'd put together a message in support of your efforts this evening. I'd also like to thank you very much for giving us a platform to share a snippet of Hope, the Nelson Mandela Musical, a project we've been working on with the Borowski brothers to help tell the story of my great-grandfather's life. Without further ado, do enjoy the snippet and have a great evening. And to everyone in attendance this evening, please dig deep and make sure that you support MCW and their continued efforts of impacting young people around the world. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening and enjoy the show.
Adopt this freedom charter.
Pledge ourselves to strive together,
Sharing neither strength nor courage until the democratic changes have been won. The people have spoken. South Africa belongs to all the people who live in it, black and white. Oh, the people have spoken. No government shall justly claim authority without the people's will. There's hope. Spread is all right. Hope. There's hope for tomorrow. There's hope for the future. There's hope. So let this year
need to go to Broadway with that, yes? Amazing. What an amazing, talented bunch of people with an incredible message, just incredible. Thank you so much. You know, if you don't, I'm going to tell you, I'm a financial news anchor, right? So I interview a lot of CEOs in my life. Yes, I do. And some of them are amazing. Some of them are great. Some of them are a little clueless. Some of them are pretty honest when I put them on the camera, and some try to pull the wool over my eyes. Never do that with a redhead. It's never really going to work out well for you. But there are a few standouts, real standouts, the real leaders who stand like pillars in both the business and the charity community. How honored I am to introduce one of those rare creatures, Chairman and CEO of Henry Schein, Stan Bergman. Come on up, Marion, you too.
So Liz, it's good to be here this evening with you and not worried about the difficult questions you're going to ask me, but I come here in peace. So, it always seems impossible until it's done. And tonight really is an amazing experience about hope. Just think of who's been up on the stage and all the work that MCW does. The three young leaders really inspired Marion and myself, and we just said, and sorry, Eddie, we need more of that. And Eddie always says, doing too much already, but you've got a big board here, and I see they're all in front, and Charlie, well, I'm not going to mention everyone. There's really hope here. We just got to get young people speaking to each other. And just to think of the opportunity of bringing together, right at MCW, Fox Business and Al Jazeera. Just think about that. And if we can do that, we can do a lot of other things here, Eddie, and to everyone. And Rob, as I mentioned to you early on, we were sitting here a few seconds ago, the first leadership award got presented to Dr. Shills. And who would have thought that out of Dr. Shills' classroom, you and Eddie and this team here would have all gotten together to do such an amazing, bring so many interesting people together. You know, the person that Mary and I are going to introduce to you is somebody that is a very unique leader, an extremely modest person, but somebody that can actually make things happen. And just to give you an idea of who this woman is, Mary and I were at a dinner, happened to be in Tanzania at a not-for-profit event. It was a summit, actually, of business and public partnership event. And we were sitting at a table, and the person I'm going to introduce was sitting next to me, and I asked her what she does. And she said, well, I'm a community leader, or something like that. I don't remember the exact words. And there was a person sitting two over from Marion, from Marion and I, who obviously knew I didn't know who the person was. And it turned out that the person that I'm going to introduce you to in a few minutes, in a few seconds hopefully, was the Deputy Premier of South Africa. But when she spoke to us, to Mary and me, she was extremely modest. This is a woman that has an unbelievable track record in good governance, in remarkable leadership, somebody that makes a difference in the world every day of her life, but does it really in a very, very quiet way. She's an inspirational leader, obviously a fellow South African, a great friend, Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka. I can't do the, Marion could do the clicking. So Phumzile, for the past 2 years, has been the United Nations Under-Secretary General and Executive Director of UN Women. There is a Tanzanian proverb that says, a wise person will always find a way. A wise person will always find a way. Fits in with the line from President Mandela, it always seems impossible until it's done. Phumzile is a person that always finds a way. And the work that she does is just not always known. She does things from behind the scenes and makes things happen. Phumzile has worked for many years in government, civil society, and also in the private sector, and was involved in the struggle to end apartheid in South Africa. She is a teacher by training, and the first step in her lifelong commitment to education, human rights, and women's empowerment, social justice, led ultimately to a significant role in gender equality right here at the UN, but she travels extensively in her job. And of course has gained worldwide recognition. She's involved in the coordination of the World YMCA in Geneva, where she established the global program for young women. Phumzile was elected as a member of parliament in the first South African democratically elected parliament government, and held a number of posts from Minister of in the Department of Trade and Industry, Minister of Minerals and Energy, and then, of course, the Deputy President of South Africa. And did a lot of work in combating poverty, making a difference in that regard, and then moved to the global stage, where, of course, she now operates out of the United Nations. Marion will give you a little bit further feel for Phumzile's work.
Good evening, everybody. I'm so proud tonight to be a South African, particularly in light of what you just saw here. It was just truly inspirational and amazing. Phumzile launched the UN's hugely successful He for She social media campaign, which invited men from around the world to join in on the gender equality movement. Participants at MCW's 17th International Youth Leadership Retreat in 2014 were able to be part of the He for She program before actress Emma Watson announced it to the world at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland in January. Phumzile also founded Mlambo Foundation, which supports leadership and education, and her work on education and empowerment aligns perfectly with the values of MCW. Phumzile's wisdom is unquestioned, and from the classroom to the South African government to the United Nations, she has always found a way to improve the lives of others and to inspire others to join her in her effort. For all these reasons, it is our privilege this evening to present the 2015 MCW Leadership Award to Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka. Can you please come up, ma'am?
Thank you so much for those embarrassingly kind words, Marion and Stanley, and for the wonderful work that you do, and for instilling these values to your children and friends. I'm really, really moved by what I saw on the screen and the work of MCW, because the choice to work with young people is a choice to enable the world to start again. Because in every young person, you could actually renew the world. And with education, you provide young people with tools and capacity that no one can ever take away from them. I'm also grateful to be a South African and to be with South Africans like you. I'm grateful too for having had the privilege to be led and nurtured by Nelson Mandela, to look at him, work with him, and gain some of the tips about leadership. And something that I took from having been in his cabinet was the importance of integrity. When you dealt with Nelson Mandela, you knew what you were dealing with. Disagree, if you will, but you know exactly what you're gonna get. Humility and humor together. He was one person who always was self-effacing and would make jokes about himself. So in his presence, you never felt intimidated because he made you feel bigger than him. I will never forget going on a trade mission with him to Germany, and he arrived there and he was going around introducing himself. And one of the staff protocol people said, "Dada, you don't have to do this, people know who you are." He says, "Why should people know who I am? They take the time to introduce themselves to me. I must at least have the courtesy to also introduce myself. I shouldn't take it for granted that they know me." And of course, he was also asked one time, "You've just married Gracia Machel. Why is she not Mrs. Mandela?" And he quibbled with a boyish smile and said, "Because she also graciously allowed me to remain Nelson Mandela." So he just always had the wit, and the wisdom. So thank you so much for having him in the background and making sure that this wonderful celebration reminds us of one of the greatest people we have. I want to thank all the people who have worked on this program. I want to thank the MCW team for being part of the He for She campaign, and the men and boys in that campaign must remember that to be a man who stands for gender equality is all about being one half of humanity, supporting the other half of humanity in the interest of all of humanity. I thank you.
So inspiring. Thank you so much, and thank you, Marion, and thank you, Stanley. As they take the picture, I just want to say something about Stanley. I have known him for how long? 14 years, Stan? I met him when I first came to CNBC, where I first started doing business news, and he stood out. He really, really did, and to this day, I look at him as a real leader. There are very few of those. Yeah, you know, you can lead your troops in business, but for somebody who has a corporate conscience, and every time there's some type of disaster, Henry Schein is there because Stan is there. He deserves a special applause. Stanley, thank you. So enjoy your evening. Thank you so much.